And welcome to my YouTube. The painting on the left is the older Mona Lisa. This is the younger Mona Lisa. I want to show you within these images here, we're going to be concentrating right in this area, and the same thing as in this area in the Mona. Now, just because what I'm going to show you now so happens to be the areas that are going to match, they also match throughout the rest of the painting, because that's Leonardo da Vinci's tricks. Now, within this particular area, this image that I'm going to show you has several deals in it. If you look, you can see how like there's a G and an R, but also a simulated face, and it continues. It comes out to look like this image, and I don't know if you're gonna see it too well, but it spells out G-R-I, and it looks like a another E or an R or an F, and it goes on and on, C, and it has like an F slash. He mixes his laminated invisible ink over the top to where it's kind of like a 6 can be an 8, etc. Okay, so these letters are the same as these that go across here, and the way you can tell is because the G and the G, and even though you can't read out the R as well in the end, even in mine, because this is an X-ray, this is what happens to have been a down color, but you can see the houses. See, there's a pointy house, and then there's also another house, and it goes like another house. That's where he built his houses. And in these houses, he builds these little people, like an eye on one side of the house, an eye on the other side, and so on. Here comes another oddball thing, and he throws you to think that you're off, but you're not. Let me show you when you elevate this up past the G, okay, you're going to see under the G, you're going to see this symbol here, and it's a hand with like a finger. I'm going to zoom in so you get a better look of that. You see it right here? I know there's one that simulates one here, but there's one right here, and you can see that image. I'm gonna block this for a second. Is the same when you really study it, because you can see how it has these little doodads with a long finger, and he buries it to hide it within this unit. Also, he makes a big thumb out of it right in here. Now I can reduce it down, maybe it helps a little. Well, maybe it don't, but it's right below the lettering in which we're talking about, because when you put the G with the G and then move it on down, that's exactly the area it hits. Okay, but if you take a look at mine right here and you zoom it up, it has the same, but mine comes up because I have a better photo image out of it, even though it doesn't seem, it's right here, and it has the zigzag hand with a finger. This YouTube's going to get better, don't worry. You can see it right there. A lot better on mine than you can on the Mona, but you're talking hidden images. See the finger and boom and the hand? Those are undisputed. But also, if you take a look, he repeats his work. If I swing this around, you can see how these straight up and down lines have the same resemblance of certain images in which he would build. Okay? He does that. He tricks you to wonder where you're at. And it's easily can be. Now if you take a look also, you can see the big face in front of you. See the top of the head and the big nose and eye, running down an eye. See, he puts the head on top of a head, and then a big nose and a beard, and runs. And then he has a hand over here again, aiming upward. I don't know if that's a religious symbol or what. But that's not why I brought you here. Even though this is an image in which I want you to see. This image I'm going to pull down, and I'm going to show you in the corner. This is the corner, which I'm going to pull down, of the area of the let me grab it. It went around here somewhere, boss. Oh, it's right here. It's the right corner where it says MF. MF, and it's this area, like I told you. Then we're going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to show you that this image is the same image as in the corner of here. This only took me like 5 hours to set up, so please bear with me. So when you change the color, this is the Mona, you change the color so you can see what's hidden in it. You can get the same general look of this image, big large image here, like almost a person looking the other way, that ends up with this image here. Don't worry, it gets better. When you lay this over the top, it's the exact fit. It gets really kind of funny, because when you also take this image and you take this image right here and you lay it in here into where it goes, you can see where the hand would normally run. Then what you do is you take the other particular image where the hand will go. Let me find it. I had to do a lot of setup. You got to forgive me. So you can see I'm working. I'm a working boss. Okay, so this is a different blown up section of it that you had to try to find it, and you can barely see the image of where I'm talking about in that one, but that's not what I'm looking for right now. Okay, this is the image I'm looking for, and I do believe in this image is what I'm looking for. This is her hand blown up, and this is the image we were just talking about that's in this particular area. And don't forget, her hand moves across, okay, like a flip book. I got nearly 500 YouTubes now, but when you take my image and you lay it over the top, you can see, or I do it even vice versa, and you can see how it fits exact. This horse finger pre-bent comes down and goes around. Look, here's the finger, comes down large, goes and zigs. Here's the finger, comes down, goes boom, boom. Now it's a smaller version. This is a bigger version. And the reason why there are different versions is because I can reduce this one if I wanted to, which I didn't want to try to make it better and easier for you. But if you take a look, he runs his outline even higher and larger. See her fingers even on a flow. Now, to know that this is the same as this, oops, I got locked up in there, sorry. When you put this up in here and you run the horse over the top, which this is offset a little, you can see the thumb fitting in the same triangle. Now, these images, this hand is probably the size of a penny. Just the hand, if that. And in these images here are thousands and thousands of images. I can continue with the word thousands. But if you really start studying, you can see these outlines. And they start to look like an eye and an eye and a mouth. There are cartoons. They don't have to be portraits. They're cartoons. And that's what he was. But here, let me put this back and give you a reversal. And you remember how the thumb fits? You can see this straight line. You can see this line, how it curves. It depends on how you move it. See? So if I shift this just one notch up, excuse me, 2 notches up, the line fits. Okay? And what's unusual about it is that you can see all these X's and crisscrosses and letters. These are letters, like an L and an I and an L and a 4. These are letters that he's building these images out of. Okay? I mean, these aren't accidents with a brush. This is a word here like GLAVIFIRN. I don't know what that means in Italian. I never even looked it up. I don't have time. Not this time. I'm working this all by myself. Well over $500,000 in labor in this alone. So if you take a look and you lay this up in here, you can see the faces in the background of the shadows. These items. And you put them over here and you can see them move. Like here's like a VY. Here's the Y. V. And he has the letter running across. They match. Okay? He is a complete code man. And now, if you take a look at the V of the thumb, but you can also see the inner gray where the thumb would be, then another black where it would be, and then it continues. That's the way he is. So I can shift this over, and then I raise it just a hair, but here's the thumb fit. And then you can see how his horse fits in the middle. And you can also see there's this icon here. And that icon has a hat, what looks like a guy smoking a pipe of some sort. He has, when you change this into another like threshold or curve or level, it gets highlighted more. But you can see how there's a pointy guy right here. His hat aims the other way. But if you take a look, he's got that guy over here with the hat aiming that way. See? So when you put him up here, you can see him here, but actually he will move all the way over to here and match. And then I have to go 2 notches down. And people want to know, how come you have to shift it? Well, the reason why you have to shift it is because Leonardo da Vinci did not want his artwork, when he multiplied his images over and over and over again, he didn't want them to slide across like on a conveyor belt without any style or movement or fakeness. So he made his so original that it's like a woman shifting her hips. And I don't know, it does excite guys or whatnot, and then it excited Leo to make his items move like this. You know, when you move your hand, does it just move straight across all the time? I mean, if you're not doing karate, okay, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, but if you also look at this image here, this large image, and this image, those are the same images that are right here. Okay, right in here, he overlays. Here's one over the top of this one. You got a third. Here you got them. 1, 2, 3. I'll zoom in for you to see that. That's in there. Those 3 are the same. So they're right there. They're ruffled. One face right there. One face right there. Another face right there. Of course, there's millions of them. They continue. These are all faces. That's like a face of an owl with an eye and an eye. And it continues. They're extreme. That's a bird with a long beak. Okay? I mean, this guy, these images that I'm showing you are smaller than a grain of salt. They may even be 20 times smaller. And I've seen images that were like blood spots that I've had to have almost a 600 ppi image machine to open these up. What you're looking at on the phone, please go to your 4K 55-inch minimum screen and take a look at it. And it's going to be difficult. Trust me, I know. Now, when you put these images back up, you can see how he makes things bigger and smaller. That's why his words are hard to see. See, he has this E here, and it continues. He has it here, and it continues. It looks like something like an E, blah, 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 and it gets over to like a big S. Here goes an E, blah, 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 and here goes like an S. Okay, here's like a big C and an O, and there's a big old C, and then there's like a G, and there's a G and a G, and it makes a C look like a G because they're very deceitful. But if you really look at this, which is in the Mona Lisa, so happens to be a Leonardo da Vinci's hidden codes inside. You cannot see that. But if you really look again, see, that area became a face that we were just at. See, right there is a face. Okay, and we got inside the face. We got inside this little microdottic stuff, and we analyzed this little section right in here, which would take us mega years, 30 students, to take a look at that. Now this image is the MIDION, the one in which I told you about, and it so happens to have his whole life story hidden in written diary in this painting. This is the older, mature Mona Lisa. It is one of Leonardo da Vinci's lost paintings that I own. I've got many YouTubes out. Even I, to tell you the truth, I keep playing back my own YouTubes and studying them because they come out different on the YouTube screen than it does with it here in person. Somehow there's a color correction or color loss, or a too bright or not bright enough to show. So I've been putting out a lot because it's not my fault. I thought it was. Partial is, but most of it is Leo's. Leo's tricks and hard ways to try to pull them for the public to see. So, with that all in mind, please bear with me. This is Leonardo da Vinci's real hard work that I put into. I can use some assistance. You can email me at CAMAROLANDMAN777 57777@gmail.com. That's 5 sevens, and it's called Camaro Landman with 5 sevens, no 5 in there, at gmail.com. And you can put in any type of thing politely, no profoundness, please. I'll just have it blocked. I'm a very religious man, and with that I put out these kind words to the world. I have something else to say, but God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens, and I wish you all have a beautiful, beautiful night. And with the UV part on the deal on the coronavirus, why don't they take 2 different types of UV and run it over it and see if it kills it? And if it does, why don't they make you swallow a string of some sort with UV, or maybe there's a UV shooting something down in you, or that will penetrate to kill the virus when it attacks your lungs. Because don't forget, if it lives, we can kill it. But right now we're all workers, we're not lazy, we want to get out. But you know what? You get out, you kill somebody. You could absolutely be a person carrying it, and we don't want that. I feel for everybody. So again, God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens, and you have a beautiful, beautiful night. Amen.